Hello, hello, hello. Hi, everybody. I'm gonna get some set up here. Happy Monday night to everybody. Thank you for those of you who are joining live. If you are watching the replay, thank you for stopping by and watching that replay. I do appreciate it. And if you are live or here and you can't hear or see me, please let me know. I should be all set, but you never know. I've had some goofy stuff happening today, feels like, with my computer, and we're just little oddities, so if something's off, let me know. Those of you who are new, I am Mike Murphy, and those that are not, welcome back. I do thank you for joining me here every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. I live in Florida, and so 9 o'clock every Monday night, I do these live streams for you, for content creators who want to learn something new, ask me questions, something you're working on, any projects that you're maybe stuck with, or maybe there's something that I taught in one of my tutorials and you're not sure how to do it, or something else that you're stuck in After Effects or Audition or Photoshop. Pretty much all the Adobe products I'm pretty familiar with, and or any of the tech stuff that you're just not sure about. That's why I do these Monday night live streams, really to just provide one-to-one access for anybody who needs a little extra help, or just wants to, get feedback, or even share something cool that you're working on. I'd like to get to know as many people as I could on the channel. So if you want to stop by and just say hey, or, I would love that too. So, yeah, so every Monday night, stop by, and during the week, if you have questions or something you want me to talk about, or if there's something you're really hoping that I talk about one of these Monday nights, by all means, leave a comment. I try to every Monday, I try to do something that is, relevant, or, like some type of tutorial that I teach a lot about. And I try to maybe go a little deep dive in this live stream to where you can see me doing things live. And if there's questions or something, you're like, hey, how do you do that? Or what's that button for? This is the time, and this is, hopefully the purpose of this live stream is really just to help anybody who needs that little bit of extra help, or if you just want to learn and hang out, that's good too. So let me jump into, so I start these usually just by sharing my resources page for those who are either joining new or haven't been here before and haven't watched the replay. I just like to share this because I think it is one of those things that people generally find helpful when when you, I don't know what is going on with I told you I'm having some weird glitchy things. Nothing major, but just little things that I would just don't seem to be working as up to par. But anyways, so mikemurphy.co, that is my website. And let me just make this a little bit different here. I'll come on here if I can. Oop, geez, look at that picture. relevant to the topics that I teach. So I want to do a little more of like a deep dive of the tools that I use. I'm having audio issues, or you're having audio issues? Cannot hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Check 1 2, check 1 2. That's weird. I don't know why that would be the case. Let me just check a few settings here. You should be hearing me, but what's going on here? Let me know if are you hearing me? Can you hear me? Let's just see what's going on here. I don't know what's going on, but I will figure it out for sure. Let me pull up my... Again, I did mess with a few things earlier. I should be coming in. I'm seeing audio, so what's going on here? Why are you not hearing me? I should be. But, yeah, I can see my levels looking pretty good. So, let me just do this. Check 1 2. I should be good. So if for some reason it was not coming through, whether it's something on the stream, I'm not really sure. But if it wasn't coming through, hopefully you were able to visually see all the stuff I was talking about. But tonight, as I was starting to say, I said a lot of really nice things if you didn't say me. But anyways, tonight I am going to hop into Screenflow, which is something that I do a lot of tutorials on. And in Screenflow tonight, what I thought I would do is I need to do a timestamp. I need to make chapters for a video. So I thought that I would show you how I would go about making chapters for a video. And the chapters, if you're not familiar with, are the things that you would see in a... Let's just see here. So these are chapter markers. And if I bring this... So basically the chapter markers are the things that you can click on, and there will take you to a video, or that will take you to a, that place in the video. So I thought I would show you how I would do that in Screenflow, because I need to do it for a video, and I am going to, basically, it's very, very simple, but I am going to just show you the process that I would do to create chapters in YouTube. So when you are ready to publish your YouTube video or upload it to YouTube, you've got clickable links in the description. So if people are watching, they will be able to click on the link and jump to that part of the video. And also YouTube will take those video chapters and make little chapters below, making it very easy for people to get to the part of the video where you want. I was very low. I haven't done them on a lot, and I really made a commitment, or I told myself that I was going to do it from now on. My videos are so short that I never thought it was like worthwhile in my case, because they were all like 99% of my videos are under 3 minutes. Many of them from the beginning are like a minute to 2 minutes. So I never thought doing the chapter markers was that important, but I've changed my mind, and I need to do that on a regular basis. And I'm just out of the habit, so sometimes I just will upload videos, and I just you know, say, oh, I didn't do that. So I'm going to do that in Screenflow tonight, and hopefully people can hear me. So here I am in Screenflow, and basically what I would do is just go down the video and find places where I want to you know, leave the marker. So let me do this. Let me just go to I'm going to bring up something here. Give me just a minute. So I'm going to bring up the convert audio to keyframes. So that's the video we're working on, is convert audio to keyframes. Okay. What I want to do is I'm going to bring up a note here so I can kind of follow along here. Well, I can just do this after. Okay, so what I'm going to do is basically go down the timeline and create markers. Yeah, this is interesting. For the height, I'm going to put it 1920. I'll keep the frame rate at 30. Let's see here. Why am I doing this? Or why is this happening? So I wonder if I'm going to turn this down pretty low. So what I would do is basically go down the timeline and listen. You'll be able to hear this, so I don't want it to be too annoying for me scrubbing the video, but I'll just go down the timeline, listen, and when I get to a part to where I want to create a chapter marker, I'm gonna add a marker. And you can add a marker by tapping on, it's the tilde key in the top left corner, or the grave key is what it's called. And if I go up here to Screenflow, you'll see there's a channel called mark. Let me zoom in a little bit so it's easier for you to see. So let me just go to the top menu here, and I will zoom in so you can see. So at the very top menu here, you can't see it because it's a little bit out, but there's a mark menu item at the top. So you click on mark, and you'll see here markers. And then to add a marker, you see there's it's a grave, it's called, or it's right below the tilde key. It's on the American QWERTY keyboard. I know if you're in other parts of the world, the tilde key is usually located somewhere else, or it might not even exist. There's always an alternative. So if you're not sure where the tilde key is or where this grave key is, it looks like an apostrophe, but like a reverse apostrophe, and it's on a Mac. It's in the top left corner, just under the escape key. Okay. So when you want to add a marker, you just tap on that. So what I would do is just go down the timeline, and again, I've got the audio down so you can hear it, but I don't want it to be too annoying, which I think it could be. So I will just go down the timeline. Hey folks, it's Mike Murphy, and today's quick tip is in Adobe After Effects CC 2022. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to convert an audio file to keyframes and make an object or a layer react to an audio file. So first, create a new composition. I'm just going to click on the new composition button. We'll make a vertical video so you can... So maybe I'll just say here, create a new composition. So I'm going to tap on the grave key. Oops, you can't see it. Let me zoom back out. Sorry about that. I just realized you were... Now I'll zoom into the timeline, so make that a little bit easier for you. Give me a second. Let's go. Okay. So I have my playhead and my current time indicator right here. Okay. And I'm going to tap on the Grave key. So that's the upper left, and that creates a marker. So I'll say create new composition. So basically, if somebody is reading this or somebody's watching the video, they're going to be able to why are you showing me this video? Let me you don't want to see that. I got all sorts of funky stuff happening tonight. It's kind of funny. Did my camera go? No. That's funny. Well, so so what I did was come down here, hit the tilde key or the Grave key, and I'm going to type create new composition. And click on create, or just click the enter key. And now if I click off, you'll see there's that little marker. And I'm going to be adding these markers all the way down the timeline. And the markers are basically just chapter markers. They're going to be the chapters that I use in the YouTube description. And if at any point while I'm doing this, if you're not sure what I'm doing or if you have questions, please just let me know. But otherwise, I'm just going to scrub through the video. And anytime there's a point in the video where I think would be a good clickable moment, this is actually one of my longer videos. It's almost 4 minutes long. So it's going to take a little bit. It's long for me, for sure. But, you know, I'm going to put in 1920. I'll keep the frame rate at 30. For the duration, I'm just going to type in 40, comma, so 40 seconds, or whatever your audio file is. We'll click OK. Next, I'm going to drag out this photo to use as a background. In this case, I'm going to fit it to the comp height. Next, okay, I guess I'll do this. Drag assets on composition. Kind of weird, but we'll see how. Next, I'm going to drag out this photo to use as a background. In this case, I'm going to fit it to the comp height. I'm going to drag out a logo. Then I'm just going to drag an audio file onto the layers panel. And if you're hearing this little glitch, I do apologize. I don't know why it's doing this to me. There's definitely something weird going on with the configuration, and I'll sort it out. But I got to do this sort of troubleshooting on live, which is always fun. But there's definitely something going on. But we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So then I'm just going to drag an audio file onto the layers panel, and now it's time to convert the audio to keyframes. Okay, so now Grave, convert audio to keyframes. Very small, I can't read it. Okay, so I'm just going down the timeline. All the little orange things are going to end up being markers. Okay. And now it's time to convert the audio to keyframes. Go to your layers panel and select the audio layer. Then right click or control click, go to Keyframe Assistant, then click on Convert Audio to Keyframe. And if you haven't watched this tutorial, it's a very good one. you'll see here that After Effects automatically created this layer here called Audio Amplitude, and if you go up to the Effect Controls, you'll see these sliders for each of the channels. If I tap on U to bring up all the keyframes, and now when I zoom in, you will see that there are keyframes converted for each of the channels of audio. Now we don't need the
I'm going to say grave, delete left and right. Channel sliders.
Click the delete key, and now for the fun part. First, make sure that the audio amplitude is open and that you can visually see the both channels and slider control. Next, go to the layer that you want to animate or react to audio. In my case, it's going to be this logo layer. Twirl it open, twirl open the transform properties, press the Option key if you're on a Mac.
Okay, so
in my case, it's going to be this logo.
So now I'm going to say parent audio layer to slider control. This is kind of a confusing one. If you didn't really know what the tutorial was about, it's going to be hard to follow this, but maybe I'll make adjustments. We'll see. In my case, it's going to be this logo layer. Twirl it open, twirl open the transform properties, press the Option key if you're on a Mac, Alt if you're on Windows, and choose which property you want to animate. I'm going to select the scale property because I want it to zoom in and out to the audio. In my case, it's going to be this logo layer. Twirl it open, twirl open the transform properties, press the Option key if you're on a Mac, Alt if you're on Windows. And if you ever want to see what a marker is, just double click on it and that'll bring up the marker. And choose which property you want to animate. I'm going to select the scale property because I want it to zoom in and out to the audio. So I have my Option key pressed. I'm going to click on the stopwatch. Instead of typing out an expression, we're going to go to the expression pick whip. Just click and drag it right onto the both channel slider. I'm going to click off. My logo disappeared, but if I hit the space bar, I'm going to say preview animation.
I'm going to click off. My logo disappeared, but if I hit the space bar, the logo is now reacting to audio. And to fix the sizing issue,
okay, so that's a good point for chapter. Grave key, fix scaling issue. So if somebody was watching this tutorial and they're like, oh, where's that part of the video where he said, how do you fix the expression? And then maybe I'll put that as a, let me do this. Fix scaling. I'm going to say fix expression scaling issue. So yeah, if somebody was watching the video or they watched it once and they were like, oh, I just want to go back to that one part where he talked about doing the scaling, all you have to do is click on the button and it'll pop right back in.
And to fix the sizing issue, all you have to do is just click inside the expression, make sure your cursor is before where it says temp, and just type out value plus, all lowercase, so VALUE, the plus symbol. I'm going to click off, and now the logo is at the size that I want it. I'm going to drag the playhead back. The scaling issue is fixed, and now the logo is reacting to the audio. Perfect. And you can repeat this process if you want multiple transform properties to react to the audio. And you can repeat this process.
So say grave key, tilde key, repeat process to add other properties. Maybe I'll say add additional properties. I'm
very particular about the words. I like to say less and have it make sense. Words matter. Words are hard.
And you can repeat this process if you want multiple transform properties to react to the audio. So I also want the rotation to be reacting, so I'm going to press the Option key on a Mac, Alt on Windows, and click on the stopwatch.
I might do, oops. That's a little quirky thing of, if you have the playhead over the marker, it's very difficult to select the playhead or the current time indicator. It usually will select the marker. So just a little trick or tip is just instead of trying to click and drag the playhead, just click anywhere on the timeline and it'll move it. See that? So like if it was on it and you're trying to drag it, you almost have to get it just perfectly to get it. So just click and it will move it off, and now you can drag it.
And you can repeat this process if you want multiple transform properties to react to the audio. So I also want the rotation to be reacting, so I'm going to press the Option key on a Mac, Alt on Windows, and click on the stopwatch. I'll click on the expression pick whip and then drag it to that same both channel slider under the audio amplitude layer. I'm going to let go. I'll click. Now when I press the spacebar, I've got scale and rotation. And for the finishing touches, I'm just going to scale down the logo a little bit. So
I'm going to put a tilde, finishing touches.
And for the finishing touches, I'm just going to scale down the logo a little bit so it doesn't animate off the edges. Then I'll add a roughen edges effect to give it a little bit of a grungy look there. Maybe I'll change the blend mode to something like lighten, so it blends through the background. I'll tap the spacebar to preview, and that is how to make layers react to. And for the finishing touches, I'm just going to scale down the logo a little bit so it doesn't animate off the edges. Then I'll add a roughen edges effect to give it a little bit down the logo a little bit so it doesn't animate off the edges. Then I'll add a roughen edges effect to give it a little bit of a grungy look there. Maybe I'll change the blend mode to something like lighten, so it blends through the background. I'll tap the spacebar to preview, and that is how to make.
Well, that was easy. That went pretty quick. So now that I've added all of the, let me just go back here. Ooh, I don't know why it keeps going to my other one, but it does. Let's see what this brings me. Not what I had. I definitely have Ghosts in the Machine tonight. So anyways, I've just added all of the markers. So if I zoom in here a little bit, you should be able to, let me just come down here, move this around. I don't know where my little, we're going to get rid of that. So let me come back here and zoom in a little bit. So you see here I've added all these markers. That's the little orange things that you see down below on the above the timeline. So I've added all these markers right here. If you ever want to delete one, whoop, pretty good. If you ever wanted it, that was pretty good though. Let me see. So if I just, I'm going to try not to make the playhead there so it's easier for you to see. And let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so if I just hover over one and right click, or actually if I just right click on it, you'll see here it's going to show you all of the markers. So these are all of the markers that I have set along with the timestamp of where they're located. I can add a marker. I can also delete a marker. I can do the same at the top menu. So if I were to come up to the top menu, go to the marker menu. Under markers, I have other options here. That's if I want to add it to the clip. I don't want to do that. I could delete the marker. I could delete all the markers. And the kind of key, which makes it a little confusing, this is something that is a little bit, let me go to full screen here so you can see. But so basically, right clicking on them will show you the list of markers, right? You can delete that marker. You can add another marker. If you went to the marker menu, which is at the very top, you see here, you have these options, but you don't have the options to see all the markers from this menu, which I don't know why they do it like that. But if you go to the window menu, which is the one to the far right, now you'll see here there is a markers option. Hopefully you can see that. Let me zoom in just in case. So I'll zoom in. So I'm at the very top menu. I apologize, you're not seeing. Actually, I can fix that. I can do anything, right? Actually, let me do this. That's not what you want to see. Let's do current application. Maybe that'll work. Nope. I think it was right the first time. So let me do this. Let's see if this works. So I'm zoomed way in. Yep. So window, the very top, right? Markers. So markers is going to, when I click that, it opens up a little panel. So let me come down here. I'm going to move it back to Screenflow because that should zoom in now. So that's this little guy right here. Unfortunately, it's not zooming in like it does the program as well. But so these menus, or this list right here, are all of the markers that I added, which seem to be kind of a lot. And if you just click on this little, basically play symbol, a little arrow, if I just click on that, it'll take you to that part of the video. So let's just say here, so I've got this marker panel. You'll see here, there's the current time indicator is right here. So if I click on this, it should move to the right. I'm doing it from, yeah, it moved. Click, go to the beginning. I'm missing it because I'm looking the wrong way. So beginning, there's the end. So yeah, so if you just click on these, it'll take you to it. If you want to edit the name, the title, you can just click, and that'll allow you to type a new marker name. So to the right, that's telling you where it's actually located. So if I click on that, the current time indicator is now at the 20-second mark, and you can check the time code right there. And basically, there's not a good way to export these as like a text file, but there is a little trick. Well, not necessarily a trick, but if you are ready to publish this, so if you're just joining or if you're just not sure what I'm doing, why I'm doing this, I'll just recap a little bit. But what I'm doing in Screenflow is setting markers, which will become chapter markers in the description box of YouTube. So if somebody goes to your YouTube video and they go into the description, the chapter markers will be clickable links that people can just click on the time code and it will jump them to that part of the video. And YouTube will make little chapters below. If you look in your YouTube app on your phone, you'll see little chapters at the bottom, which are super helpful for, if somebody's got a 25, 30-minute video, even the short one, and you just want, that the topic you're looking for is in the video, but you don't want to watch the whole thing to get to it, you just click on the chapter and it will take you there. So that's what these are doing. Now, one thing you can do in Screenflow, let me zoom out. If I go to the top menu and go to File, if I go to Publish to, YouTube, okay? So if I go to publish to YouTube, let me zoom in. I want to make sure that it's super easy for you to read in case you're on another device. Let me cancel this. Well, yeah, that didn't help. I was going to go back to file export, but I'm going to the top menu. Actually, let's just do it. We've got the technology. We can do it. File. Publish to YouTube. Okay? So that's the first step, if you want to do it this way. I typically don't publish directly from Screenflow to YouTube. I've tested it. It works flawlessly. It's just not in my typical workflow. I'm considering it, though, because of this exact reason right now. So I'll click on YouTube, and that is going to bring up this little dialog box. Now, if you haven't done so before, you do need to, you can choose if you want to change it, but you are going to need to sign into your YouTube channel if you have not done that before, so it'll make you do that. But here, which is pretty cool, you can fully say, I publish my videos in 4K. So you can select 4K. You can choose the frame rate. I typically don't letterbox or use motion blur. And if you want to save a copy of the final render, so this is the render that you're going to be publishing to your YouTube video, or typically I would export the video onto my hard drive, then upload the video. But if you want to do this all in one step, you just click Save Copy to Disk, and you choose the location to where you want to save it to. So again, it's super helpful. It's a great workflow. And then you click Next. And now here, so this is going to be your, unfortunately, there's not like a save template like on YouTube where you can like reuse stuff. That would be awesome. But you can put in your full, put in the title. You put everything. Here's your description box. This is the same thing that you would do when you're building your YouTube video. But here's the key right here. Add chapters from timeline markers. So everything we're doing today, you can do automatically in Screenflow. So you can check this box, and every marker that we just added will be automatically generated inside the text box. Pretty cool, actually. So that's a huge deal. Again, you can add your thumbnails. You can choose all the things that you want. You're limited a little bit in terms of all the extra stuff that YouTube has, but for the most part, this is everything you need to publish your videos. And then all you have to do is just click publish, and it's going to go to your, it's going to go into your YouTube channel. And then of course you can always go into your YouTube channel and, re-add that. So, give me just a second here. I'm going to do this little trick here. I wouldn't say it's a trick, but I'm going to do, how do I want to do this? What will make the most sense? I want it to be so you can see. But let me just, give me a second here. I am going to, yeah, what I'm going to do is, okay, this is going to be tricky, but let me try to do it, and we will see if it works. Okay, so it's kind of working. So what I'm going to do is just open up a text document, and this is is a little bit of a pain. So this would be really helpful if you could, if you could export these as a text document and just copy and paste. But again, the ability to do it right directly to YouTube is pretty handy. But what I've been doing is just selecting it and hitting Command C and copying. So I have a text document or Apple Notes that I do, and to write a the time code, you can do hours if you get into the hours. I don't ever plan on having videos into the hours, so I'll start with minutes. So 00, since it's no minutes, colon, and then 20. So that is 20 seconds. And then I'm going to hit Command V, and now I've got create new composition is my next one, and I will just go down. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for. Oop. Did that help you? Not really. I wanted to see if that was going to help you see it, but it's not gonna. So let me just go back to the way it was. Yeah, so I would just basically build out the time. And again, and this little window disappears. So I copy it. I note the time 00, colon, 45. Convert audio to keyframes. Here, I'll zoom in to this part at least so you can. There, that's better. That's better. So basically what I'm doing is clicking once, copying, Command C. I'm looking at the time, 57 seconds. I'm coming over to my Apple Notes, 00, colon, 57, space, paste. Back to Screenflow. So I am on 1 minute and 28 seconds. So I'm going to go 01, 28 seconds, paste. Click, copy, 1 minute 48, 01, 48, paste. Preview animation, click, copy, oops, copy, 2 minutes 16, 02, 16, space, paste. Click, copy, Command C, 2 minutes 25, 02, 25, space. Click, copy, 2 minutes 52, 02, 52. Screenflow, finishing touches, click, copy, 3 minutes 18. So long for me. My videos never go over 3 minutes, but only when I think they're worth it. That was a valuable lesson, something you hear a lot. Oops, I screwed up. What happened? Oh, no, I didn't. No. Yeah. When making content, whether you're making YouTube videos, podcasts, writing an article, what you make only has to be as long as it needs to be and not a minute longer. So you don't have to stretch things out. If you don't need more time, then you're done. If you need more time, then it's worth going longer. So I said most of my videos do not go over 3 minutes long, just with the cadence that I have and the topics, the way I do it. And if I do have to go over 3 minutes long, then it's because I need to go over 3 minutes long in order to teach that topic. So I'm very conscious about that, but it's also kind of a good, good little lesson. I think a lot of people, when they're starting out making things, they're feeling like they need to fill up space and they need to kind of fill in every gap or explain everything, and you don't really need to. Sometimes you have to, but the point is you don't need. Say what needs to be said and nothing more when it comes to teaching, and be conscious of other people's time. So I've got this, basically this chapters. These are all going to be chapters. And I will do, Let me see if this is going to work. Let me go back to Screenflow. Let me just, I'll come here for a second. Let me make sure that I'm able to pull this up. Hi, everybody. I haven't seen you in full screen for a while.
Riverside, guys.
Okay. Let me jump back to
If you're still recording your podcast on Zoom, do yourself and your listeners a favor and start using Riverside.
Hi folks, it's Mike Murphy, and today's quick tip is in Adobe After Effects CC 2022. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to convert an audio
just going into I don't know why nothing wants to work. Yeah, so the markers themselves are basically in this little dialog box here is the easiest way that I have found to be able to copy and paste them. If you ever want to delete one from the marker, you can just click on this little delete in the bottom left. That will also delete it from the timeline. And the last thing I just want to remind you of, because it is a little tricky, if you're not in a marker workflow, that marker window is in the window menu, markers. It is not in the marker menu. So you see these markers? You won't find that little dialog box. You'll only find that in the window markers. All right. And don't forget, if you want to publish directly to YouTube, you can go to File, Publish to YouTube, and then you can, from YouTube, click on Next, and then you check this box. Check Add Chapter Markers, Chapter from Timeline Markers, and that will publish the markers directly so you don't have to do that copy-paste thing, and you'll be good to go. And that, I think, is going to do it for tonight, unless there's questions that I can answer right away. Or, I'm not in a hurry, but if there's chapters, or if there is questions. I gotta figure out this audio, why it keeps flopping on me, but can you hear that? I'm going to let you go on a little bit of music. But yeah, so apologize for some scatterbrain or some technical glitches. But hopefully if you are publishing to YouTube and you're using Screenflow, that you are aware now, if you weren't before, of how to use or how to create chapter markers. Because they seem to be a very big deal for YouTube. YouTube is really going big on these chapter markers because they're really powerful for search and delivering people good search results. So if you are timestamping or putting chapter markers in your videos, when people search for how to do something, your video is going to get delivered because it's clickable, it's easy to find, and Google rewards people who are delivering dynamic, relevant content. So yeah. That is chapter markers being made in Screenflow, whether you want to publish directly to Screenflow or to YouTube from Screenflow, or whether you just want to copy and paste them. Either way, as you're editing your videos, to me, I think it's worthwhile to do it at the end when you're done editing. That way, if you're changing around editing, it doesn't really make sense to change the markers. But either way, sometimes people like to record their video and add markers as ways to tell you, what places of the video are. It really depends. My video making is probably different than people who are filming longer content. Mine is very, I'm very regimented in how I do it. So I know pretty much every part of the video is almost broken down into chapters automatically. So it's usually tonight was actually one of the hardest type videos because it was a little nuanced in steps. They weren't so clear, but yeah. So that is markers, chapter markers in YouTube. My name is Mike Murphy. I thank you for anyone who joined, and if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for the first 10 minutes if I wasn't speaking or if you couldn't hear me. I don't know why, but sorry. And I will see you next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Get a lot done and be productive and happy and healthy. So, everybody, cheers, and we will see you next Monday. Peace.